Right, I'm going to get a quick bit of video on these La Sportiva. Tested a couple of shoes recently that kind of good trail shoes, but didn't really do it for me as a UK fell runner. And I've got these, the La Sportiva Mutant, which are shoes that I guess a lot of people see around on people's feet, winter training especially, but fell races as well. And they're really good. And while I was out here, I thought I'd have a bit of a waffle. So what is it I'm digging about the shoes? This goes a little bit back to my last reviews of those Salomon that would kind of, what's the phrase? Reach your dependability. That's my new metric. You know, those sort of shoes that you just reach for because they're dependable and do everything well. And these are in that category. So I'm going to go back to my shed and talk a little bit more in detail about these stats, but just briefly. There's lots of grip, which is what we need this time of year, and you can't be let down when it comes to placing your foot and needing that dependable level of grip. They lace up really well, although that's quite unusual how they lace up with this sort of side lacing thing. You need to read the manual a bit. There's a leaflet in the box that tells you how to lace them up, and you could get it a bit wrong, but it all pulls up and comes into this pocket. Tongue is attached on the inside edge, and it's quite padded. In fact, the whole upper is quite warm. But the main thing about that upper is its protection. So you can sort of kick rocks and generally mistreat these, and your feet will be pretty happy, I think. So all good for a winter fell running shoe in the UK or wherever you are, I'm sure. So I feel really pleased with my La Sportivas. I mean, I'm late to the party, I know everybody knows about these, but yeah, it's good. It's a lovely frosty day. I noticed that T rejector John Kelly was running in Mutant when he got the FKT for running up or down, what was it, the Pennine. I mean, he didn't have the record for long, but hey, he's a proper runner. Yeah, the Mutants are his UK shoe of choice, I believe. He's someone to trust. Okay, so here is the La Sportiva Mutant. So coming from the perspective of a UK fell runner, looking at the La Sportiva range, I think the Mutant is the one to go for a lot of people, especially if you live in the peaks or the lakes or Snowdonia or Scotland. This is the shoe with all the grip. It's a great winter training, grippy, comfortable, protective shoe. So let's get into the stats. This is the, I guess it's the La Sportiva colourway. It's the black with red and yellow. There's also a sort of orangey coral one, and there's a blue one that's called Neptune, and Apple. Now the cost of these is, I think it's meant to be about 115 Great British pounds, but they seem to be about £100 everywhere at the moment, which I think is a really good deal. As for the width, I'd say they're kind of middling. That sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but they're certainly not narrow. They're not a super wide fit either. My UK size 11 appeared to be about 110 millimeters at the widest point, which is fairly middling. A lot of the strength and the rigidity in the uppers comes from these kind of cords that make up the lace eyelets, but then they've had like an overlay over them, which gives it quite a tough sort of abrasion resistant outer. There's also this really strong heel tab pull on the back, one that you can really put some force into. So we've got this padded mesh upper, feels quite protective, feels quite warm actually. Doesn't particularly get super heavy when it gets wet, but then again, this isn't a light shoe. It's sort of a one-piece upper that wraps round and over itself to create this tongue. It's then got this funky lacing system that pulls through this side pocket here. and it is worth reading the little bit of bump that comes with it, because it tells you how to do that. The midsole is an injected EVA, kind of regular midsole. It does have some kind of stabilisation in there. There's some kind of rock plate to give you that added protection. The outsole is La Sportiva's Friction XR, grippy, extra grippy, and it's a kind of rubber that's got that sort of tacky feel. I'm not seeing any particular early wear, although obviously these are shoes that pretty much always are off-road in soft ground. And there's 10mm of drop. La Sportiva have these stated at 320 grams on their website. Seems about right. These are a little bit more in UK 11. They're not meant to be a super lightweight shoe. I tend to think of these as being a really good winter training shoe. So for my pros, it's pretty easy. It's loads of grip. Real confidence inspiring shoe this. So you can hammer down and just plant your feet wherever they want to go and just kind of trust that they're going to grip. Obviously there's always a limit to that grip. There are fell shoes with bigger lugs, but this isn't a shoe that surprises you. It just sort of, when it goes and slips, it's predictable, and yeah, it gives you what you need. Yeah, another pro is the upper. Padded mesh upper is protective and it's comfortable. It wraps your foot nicely. It laces up pretty well, cinches up well over the midfoot to give you quite a good lockdown feel. As for cons, not a lot really to pick on. Not the lightest shoe, but that's kind of fine. It's built to last. People use these for years. So you should get some really good miles in them. I would have liked to have seen a way of adding like the runner's lace lock, the extra hole, to get a better heel lock. It's a pretty good fit all round. Occasionally I just felt as if my heel wasn't being gripped as well as it could have been, and there's no way of changing the lacing. It is the way it is, but yeah, not really a problem. And so for the score, from my scale of peak pants all the way to peak perfect, yeah, it's a solid peak proof. Yeah, great shoe. What I should probably add to my scores, I did mention it with these Salomon in my last review. This kind of reach your grabbability, I think I'll call it. Shoes that will not let you down, so you grab them and you use them and you put a lot of miles into them. I'm sure everybody kind of knows what I'm talking about there. Sometimes you have shoes that are maybe more exciting, more innovative or something, but perhaps they have other problems, so you don't grab them all the time. These are just solid performance. So yeah, the reach and grabbability score is high with the Mutant. So they have it. It's a really great shoe from La Sportiva. Very UK focused if you're a fell runner especially, or a mountain runner. Lots of dependable grip. Great shoe for short winter training miles, all the way up to I guess running up and down the spine or something like that. Maybe I'll try that. Challenger. Great, good job.